Hey everybody, we are with F. Matt Hummel. Hey Matt, what's the F stand for?
It's Francis.
Francis.
Yeah, my father and my grandfather were all both Franks. My
Oh.
dad, when he was very young, he was called Little Frankie, and he swore to himself, maybe when he was around 11 or 12, that he would never do that to his kid. And then I was the firstborn, and they were like, "You're gonna name him Frank." He's like, "Okay, but I won't." So I'm Francis Matthew Hummel, but I've always been Matt.
Hey folks, just a little point. We're at Perch Cafe here, right there. And in the back, if you happen to be here, we are actually live. We're at 440 Grand Avenue if you want to come on down. But this is Matt's platform, and as Matt knows, basically the way I work is this is his platform and not mine. Matt, you're running for Oakland City Council District 4. First of all, how's the campaign going?
It's really exciting. It's going great. We've walked a good chunk of the district at this point. We've knocked on over 5,000 doors, and I got a billboard up on MacArthur over by the 7-Eleven and by Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
People are really responding well. I actually, it was neat. I was the nicest, the nicest house on the block I was just knocking on yesterday was like, "I already voted for you." I was like,
Nice, cool. Wait, congratulations, man.
Yeah, which is good considering
That feels good, doesn't
I'm
it?
kind of lefty too, so when
Yeah.
the nicest house on the block likes me, maybe I'll get in somewhere. You know?
Yeah. Hey, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I decided to run because I think we're in the middle of like a moral and spiritual crisis as a town.
Amen. Yeah.
And we're kind of losing our soul. And it's not. And there's one thing to be said. How we got to take care of each other, but that's actually hurting all of us by not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I had to fight the city to get porta potties at the homeless encampments. They originally were afraid that if they put the porta potties there and the hand washing stations there, then the city would be responsible for the encampment themselves, as if they were like approving of them. And I was like, yeah, that's my trick. I want you to. I agree, right? But then they said no, and to back up a little bit, I lost friends in the ghost ship fire.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and so friends and I started the Oakland Warehouse Coalition, and we went through all the different warehouses and did like safety checkups, and because I do construction, and I built a lot of these live work communities together over the years, and been very proud of that work. So we went around and we had a little sign, a sheet where okay, check, and we're getting people extinguishers and fire alarms, and making exit doors go out instead of in, so if people push against them, they don't get stuck. And that was going good, and we were getting things done, and we had a lot of help from the national community. People were donating things to it because people were moved by what happened. And
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And,
For people who may not know, can you tell them what happened?
Yeah, over 30 people passed away in a fire in a building. They were at an event to celebrating life and got to dance, and something happened and it all caught on fire. And I had been there a year before. I felt bad because I had actually literally told someone it was a fire trap from seeing it, and it was pretty hard to deal with emotionally. We had to do something, so we ended up going around and trying to help people. But then we started feeling like, well, the artists have access to things that not everyone has, and the resources that were coming around really came clear when the apartment building on San Pablo Avenue got burnt down, and so we took the last of our money that we had from donations and cut checks to all the tenants there, and it wasn't very much, just over $1,000 per person. And I helped. I'm clearly not just the only person helping, but we were passing out these checks to all the tenants, and they were in line to get them, and they were all so thankful. They kind of ended up feeling shameful because we knew that it was not going to last very long. It wasn't going to help them very much. So the next thing we did was okay, how can we work on the homelessness issue and try to help people just in the basic, get them some socks.
Yeah.
Get them some socks. Get them a porta potty. And the city was saying no because they didn't want to take responsibility for it. So we decided to get bids ourselves and do it ourselves. So I went and called around and got a bunch of bids. And ultimately, the city asked me for those bids, and I turned them into them, and they ended up getting porta potties, which would be a win, except for the fact that they're not really being maintained very well. And runnings, I think we need to have like a follow through. We need to stop doing things halfway. For instance, I think as much as the people that are being helped by these like shacks they're putting up.
Tough sheds, you mean?
Tough sheds, yeah.
Sure.
They and I mean, I'm not sure if I'd turn one down if I was in this position. But there's not enough of them to go around. First of all, so we can't act like it's a solution. And it's not a long-term solution anyway. I mean, the UN actually came out and visited these things and said we're being systematically cruel. And as a progressive city, we're usually like the ones pointing to the UN. That's what they're saying about other places. So this is pretty shameful, you know. So I decided that we just need to push forward. It was kind of interesting. Another example of kind of half measures or not following or figuring things out. We have a problem with our sewers across the city and how we're actually paying fines to the EPA when there are discharges in our creeks. And we just did a Metro KK and everyone voted for it, and it's going to be paving the streets, taking care of some parks and do some other things. But nowhere did it talk about the sewers. So we're going to pave these streets, and then some point after that, tear up the streets to fix the sewer. And this is the kind of thing that just frustrates me, and I wish we could have some planning how we do these things, and instead of it just being a political act. I feel like the sewer is something people aren't running, they don't notice it until it's a problem. And it's going to be a real problem in the next earthquake. Today's the anniversary.
Right.
And
it sure is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
And if it, it's not going to. These things will not hold. You know, all the terracotta and all that from 100 years ago. So these are just small examples of things that they're kind of like bugging me right now, and we're trying to work on. I think we need. Yeah, go ahead. City of Oakland, you know, by first in 2006, the city of Oakland has come through for people over the years. And I feel like we're not treating what is happening, this housing crisis, like maybe it's a slow-moving earthquake, so you don't. But we should be treating the people that are in this crisis as similar as we treated the people in the crisis of the earthquake or fire. Housing security is not just like the homelessness.
Yeah, just hand me your iPad. I just want to check something while you're talking. Keep talking. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Here, I can plug it in.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that worked. Okay.
Somehow your fingerprint worked on like mine. Okay. Yeah, sorry. My thing's freaking out.
Oh, no, don't worry about it. Keep talking. Sorry, I just wanted to check something on you talking while you're doing this, but go ahead. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I got you. You were saying, though.
Okay, so, what was I saying?
You were saying homelessness.
It's not the only issue.
Right.
I used to help like get murals put up, right? And but muralists are kind of concerned nowadays. They don't want to put up a mural up.
Why?
Because they're nervous that they're making that art for the next person, not for them, not for the people that are already here. There's what happens when you know you make a place too nice for you to be there. And I worked on Just Cause the first time around, and I want to mention like
just making sure. See, hey folks, what I'm doing is
nice.
if you this is a front page of Zenny 62, so people can see this for free. He's live now on the front page, just showing him the wonders of modern technology. So there you go. Yeah.
It's like Inception or something. Right?
Exactly. High five. He gets it. There you go.
So,
he gets it.
I lost my
Oh, you were saying about it's not just homelessness, and it's not just.
Well, how many tens of thousands of African Americans have lost their ability to live in this town over the last decade?
Right.
And does anyone in power care? That's my question. I came from Stockton, so I know a lot of people moved to Stockton, and which that's good for the culture in Stockton. Things are happening good. There's some action in Stockton, which is good. But that secret sauce the mayor talks about all the time, I wish it wasn't such a secret.
I know, yeah.
I mean, I kid, you know. But They right now, like we're in this lovely storefront right now. My concern is what happens when their lease is over. Are they going to be able to stay? I think across this town, people are wondering, do I put in? Do I try to? How hard am I going to try to make this place, my business, nice?
Hey, I got a question here.
Yeah.
Someone wants to. Let's shift gears about the Raiders.
Yeah.
They want to find out what you think about the Raiders lawsuit.
Oh, I think we should definitely go for it.
Okay, why?
Because, well, as far as I can tell, that they've been negligent to the city of Oakland from day one. And I think we actually didn't go after them in the past because we're trying to play nice with them, trying to get them back. And at this point, that ship has sailed. So I think we should just get what's coming back to them. Okay, I came from Kansas City, so when I was a kid, from Stockton, we'd come and we'd see the A's play the.
Are you a Kansas farm boy?
City.
Yeah,
But I'll
well,
tell
it's
you,
Missouri though, right?
My dad never came back.
Really, you'd be a Missouri
My
farm.
dad was an A's fan, by the way.
Oh, is that right?
And then they moved to here from Kansas City. So we used to go to the games, and I was like always impressed with the city of Oakland and that park and how beautiful it was, and that view of the hills.
Yes.
We took a stadium that was fantastic. State of the art, even in aging, it was state of the art. In fact, and turned it into junk. And on our dime. And meanwhile, it's not even paid off. And they're leaving. That's just crazy to me. And I hold people that were voted for it responsible, but I also hold I hold the team responsible, the organization responsible. I mean, I remember Ignacio de la Fuente years ago said to me some comment about I would never, if people were actually getting me in trouble for that deal, I'd never get reelected again. And he was joking, but
Sure.
And actually he appointed me for my first position.
Oh, is that right?
On Cannabis Regulatory Commission.
Okay. Yeah.
Years ago.
Yeah.
So and I've been kind of working off that appointment ever since. I was reappointed by Noel Gallo.
Yeah, good guy. Yeah, great guy. Great guy. District 5 council member. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's great.
Yeah.
So the Raiders. I mean, I played football in high school. I love football. I think, but this town has heart.
Yeah.
And they broke its heart, this town's heart, over and over again. I'm like a jilted lover. I'm not coming back. I'm not sure. I'm sure there's some people that'll be like loving them.
Sure.
But I'm still never say LA. If you know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Absolutely.
so, yeah, I would love to see them pay for what they've done in this town.
Hey, what do you think about? Let me ask. Unknown Raider is one of our regular viewers. He was saying, does he know about the status of the lawsuit? I don't think you do. He was asking if you knew about the status of the lawsuit. I mean, I do.
I heard a little bit. I haven't.
I can take care of it. Let me take it. Let me take.
6 months.
That's fine.
But yeah.
But let me take it. Let me just say, hey, this is more his platform than mine. He doesn't know the status, but if you do, I do. I don't want to take away from his time, but I'm going to continue back to him. But I just want to let you know I wasn't ducking your question. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So, yeah, I think we definitely should pursue it, and maybe there's some legal scholar that'll explain to us why we're wrong, but I wouldn't mind spending a little money on trying to find that out first before giving up on that, because we're paying. We're still paying. The city doesn't have money, acts like it doesn't have money, but it spends money in some sloppy ways. And so that just ticks me off. That's part of the reason I'm involved with public banking. It's because the idea that every year our deposits go into the banks. Yeah, go ahead.
Before we talk about that, I wanted to keep on sports.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we have $1 billion facility in the Coliseum, yet we don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Why is it? No, not why, but what do you think of the A's baseball proposal, and what property do you favor, Howard Terminal or the Coliseum?
I prefer the Coliseum, but it's got to be different than what we got going on right now.
Okay.
I don't like the whole I mean, so I moved here in '92.
Sure.
I remember what it was like coming here in the '80s, right?
Yeah.
And a perception of an outsider. Because back then I was like, yay, San Francisco, but Oakland, I'd go to a game, I'd go to a concert there. And it really put off this vibe of like, we don't trust the town. Because it's like this fence around the neighborhood. And it's still there where it's like, sure you're coming to Oakland, but don't get too far into Oakland because you might get hurt.
Right.
And it still has that vibe, which is really, I think, not just unfortunate, but really kind of bad. And so I want to have it. I want to see it. Well, just like everyone says, we need a downtown park and all that stuff. That could be a downtown park.
Yeah.
You know, people have talked about having 2 downtowns in the past, and we think we need and that whole corridor could be a second downtown. We need. I think you should be able to cross the street from a neighborhood and walk into another neighborhood that we just built that's tied to a sports facility. It needs to be integrated, not separated. You know, and as it is right now, it really feels like it's just been like plopped in this place that we put it there because that was like the crummiest part of town. Don't look that way kind of thing. And it's like it's shameful because good people live in those neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And they don't deserve to have that kind of vibe around their community. Where it's like almost like I can't tell if the barbed wire is like which way the prison is, but it seems very wrong. I'm against doing it. I mean, Howard Terminal, it's all interesting to have it over there. I think I'd much rather have it in our site we already have because we gotta do something there. It's in some ways, I mentioned earlier, state of the art.
Sure.
It is getting dated. The whole idea. I mean, we need to have. I'd like to leave some open air parking space. Because I like the whole barbecues and that whole thing.
Right.
Maybe we'll lose a lot of that when we lose the Raiders. I don't know. But so I would like to. But the modern era park does not necessarily need acres and acres of parking. And maybe a tower, maybe. But I would rather have like some grass, some lawns, so people can barbecue in the lawns. You know, like trails going through like neighborhoods, merchants that are there all the time, not just the vendors, which I love the vendors, but and I support all the like. That's one of my favorite things going to Coliseum is the people that go up the exits and they vend it on the walkway. I love that entrepreneurial spirit that Oakland has.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of my favorite thing. Actually, you know. The bootleg T-shirts, the hot dogs. You know.
Yeah.
You know. So I would like to have like a more vibrant thing. It can't just be a game day. You know.
I'm curious. What do you think of the Warriors leaving, and in particular Mayor Schaaf's statement that the Warriors really are in Oakland because their headquarters is here?
I guess that's technically true? I don't know. They've never
Technically it's true.
No, technically, they've never been in Oakland. They're a Golden State Warriors.
Right.
So there's that.
I always wanted them to be Oakland Warriors.
Right. Well, you know, it's funny. I do a lot of estate sale. And I can't remember the guy's name now. The old owner that used to have a monocle and he's the one that brought it from Oakland, San Francisco to Oakland. No, it's kind of blowing it. But it used to be a San Francisco team. So it would have been nice if they became an Oakland team when it was here. But the fact that it's going to be a San Francisco team again, it's frustrating. I'm glad there's some income coming in. I'm glad they're still going to practice at the Marriott. Hopefully there won't be a strike going on, so they can actually show up and not strike break. but I'm glad they're there, you know, and I hope that they stay there. Be disappointing to have to put that investment in the Marriott and then tear it all out. Well, but I think it's been good. It's been really good having them here. Because they've been a community team.
Absolutely. And
I hope they continue that kind of thing. It's a shame that the whole, like, how long did it take to get the town jerseys.
Right. Yeah, it's been a while.
And kind of late. Too.
Right, yeah.
Well, I guess
Like when they're leaving.
there was
It's like, wait, you're
now
leaving.
Now or never. Right?
Right.
And they're like, I guess we can make a little bit of money on that, on how cool Oakland is right now. But it's a shame, you know.
Imagine if they had done that 20 years ago.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, maybe 20. Who knows?
Yeah.
What would they have lost to all the San Francisco people at the time? The San Francisco was more
No.
blue collar back then. I don't even know, right? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, exactly. It was an attempt to be the Northern California's team, and well, another Kansas City team came to Sacramento.
Hey, so now you're gonna talk about public banking,
Yeah,
please.
sure, yeah. Okay, so public banking, just for everyone knows.
Sure.
Around the world, there's kind of just how like we have single payer healthcare around the world, but in America we're stuck with private healthcare. All around the world there's public banking, where governmental institutions own the banks. They're not 100%. Like Germany has a lot of public banking. They also have private banking. They work in concert. In the United States, there's one public bank, and actually recently I think one of the territories just started one, but and that's in North Dakota, and they started in the 1920s, and it's just thriving, and makes millions of dollars for the people of the state of North Dakota. When they voted it in, it was a progressive slate, and the farmers voted for that, and they also voted for a grain mill, which is another bank in a way, they're banking their grain, and that's still going strong too. The 2008 crash, the only bank that made it through it without any problem was that bank, because they had righteous investments. And now, right now, the city of Oakland has voted to divest for all these horrible things. But it's impossible for them to do it because there's no place to put their money. So Chase is busy going around with our money, investing in things that are horrible, and we have no control over it. Now, if we had our own bank, well, I like to say, divest from the bad and invest in the good, you know? So if we had our own bank, those investments could be happening here. This is not money we're spending, this is money we're investing. And they could be, they don't have to be risky. They could be basically, the idea is that they would be a banker's bank. They would be the ones supplying the cash for Community Bank of the Day, supplying the cash for Beneficial, supplying the cash for, you know, those local banks. Right now, when we have to measure KK.
Right.
Okay, so all that money, half that money is that we spend on the streets and all that stuff. Half that money is going to debt service. Now think about that for a second. If that debt service was going to our bank, let's say it was the same interest rate as we have now, at least if we keep it, we get it reinvested. But more than likely, it'd actually be cheaper. So when we fix a road, 3/4 of our money goes to the road, not half the money goes to the road. So when when people talk about austerity, but don't talk about the fact our money is being siphoned, there's institutions sucking our money away from us, our wealth. Everything we do, private institutions get a cut of it. If people don't understand that, they need to. Now, I don't know if it's not a panacea, but you can't talk austerity without this thing. Now, the city of Oakland came in concert with Richmond and Berkeley, paid for a study, and the study just ended. And unfortunately, this is the kind of thing that kind of ticks me off. And we've talked about this kind of stuff before. Is that we elect legislators to make decisions for us, but instead of having a study on how to do it, they spent the money on whether to do it.
Yes.
So we spent a year and a half finding out whether we should pursue. And they all agreed, yes, we should. So that's great. But now we're going to spend some more money on the business plan. Now, I talked to the mayor 2 years ago about this. I've been pushing this for a couple of years now. And she was against it. Now
Why?
she wants to do it, but only if we do it with San Francisco. So
Why that difference? Why did Mayor Schaaf want that difference?
well, I don't know. San Francisco's talking about doing it now, and they weren't before.
Okay.
LA is about to vote on it. They're about to do it. It's happening across America. People are really into this. Oakland was the first to talk about it. I mean, other than like we did have the Community Bank today try something about it on a different scale. But I think we're going to have a better time this time if we have more buy-in. In the state of California, even talking about it.
Right.
Now, for those who don't know, I've been on the Cannabis Regulatory Commission for the last 9 years. And the cannabis industry came to us 2 years ago and said, hey, we need help. We have all this cash, we can't deposit it anywhere. And it's become a problem. We're in danger of being robbed, our employees are in danger, What can you help us? Our commission talked about it, and we recommended to the city that we take those cannabis money and deposit it in our bank. The neat thing about that is that, and then that's just kind of took off like wildfire. Across America, people are talking about that solution as part of their banks. Now, the neat thing is, when does any city get a chance to gather and just raise cash and reinvest it? Never. So
Right.
This is like a thoroughly awesome opportunity if we can actually grasp it, because I'll tell you, there's so much money there, the banks will figure out a way to deal with it. So it's kind of like we got to figure this out fairly soon, otherwise we're going to lose millions of dollars in opportunity that we need to reinvest all that money here and keep it here. And it's not happening right now.
So, what about, let's talk about the police.
Yeah.
What's your position on the Oakland police?
You know, my position is that we need more accountability. You know, I was at a John Burris event a few weeks ago, and a woman that was going by Celeste Guap was there.
Yes.
It was her 21st birthday.
Ah,
And
good for Jasmine.
yeah, but she was a child.
To tell my viewers who may not know,
Okay, there was a child that was being trafficked by the police departments in this town, and no one really got in trouble for it. And in fact, actually, a few people got promoted around it. And they all came to light after I'll call it a murder-suicide.
yes.
But the city of Oakland and the police department are calling it a suicide, where a woman, a wife of a police officer, was found dead, and all the evidence, as far as I can tell, points to the officer, her husband. But they kind of swept that under the rug, as far as I could tell. And then he ended up killing himself not too long after the fact.
Right.
And with a note implicating himself and others in trafficking this young girl. And so then it all came out publicly. But they really tried to keep that quiet. And here's the thing. They work for us. And anytime you have a governmental agency,
Okay.
anytime you have a governmental agency that actually has an authority over us, they have to be held to a higher accountability than the general public.
Right.
The general public is gonna may jaywalk. The police shouldn't be. You know, this is like But right now we excuse the police because they have a hard job. But I'll tell you, I was a commercial fisherman, one of the more dangerous jobs in the world. I was a roofer, one of the more dangerous jobs. Policemen officers are down that list. God bless them. I'll tell you, they get PTSD. They got. There's things that happen to officers that I want to protect, but that don't happen with say fishermen or. But accountability is like, it's got to happen. How are we supposed to trust in things? Okay, we had friends and family. This didn't happen here in Oakland. It happened in Stockton, where they had called the police because their kid was having an emotional breakdown. He had mental issues, and they shot that kid. Right?
Oh.
Right. So these are the kind of things we need to give our. These people are police officers. They have an honor job. They're our stewards to protect us. We need to give them the tools to do that. And if we don't do that, we are really betraying them, the trust that we're trying to build. So this trust has to go all the directions, right? And this is when people talk about early childhood development, and you're like, and you have to have like boundaries for kids. The same thing with like all our council people, our mayor, our police, our fire, our building. People love being accountable. If we hold them accountable, that means they can have pride in their work. And that's what I want for our police department. Be proud. The thin blue line is built on shame, not pride. And so that's how I feel about the police. I think I want to say this. If we actually if jailing the population was going to create safety, we would be the safest place in the world. We're jailing more of our citizens than anywhere else in the world. So this is not the solution. We need to build things into restorative justice, for our criminals, people that are doing things wrong. Okay, you've seen the Paramount Theater when everyone gets naturalized and how much the
Yes.
celebration. We need that celebration, just like the prodigal son when he comes home. We need that celebration when our children, our brothers and sisters come home from prison. We need to have that celebration. We need to have a job ready for them. We need to have a home ready for them, and celebrate their return into good society. We don't do that. We do the opposite. We might as well kill them. How we treat them in some ways. I'm exaggerating, but I think there's like a certain kind of death that's involved with like just with cutting people out of their own citizenship.
Hey, since we have to get out,
Gotta go, yeah.
what is your reason why people should vote for you as Oakland City Council District 4
They should vote for me.
representative? Excuse
Yeah,
me. Yeah.
they should vote for me because I'm there because I feel like there's a moral issue that we're going to work on, and I am going to act with integrity. We may not always agree, but I want to hear what you have to say.
Sure.
And I might be moved. I'm not beholden to anybody else but myself. My friends and I work on this campaign. We got a lot of people volunteering, but it's not an institutionally run campaign. So if you vote for me, you're going to get what you see, and I'm going to try to act with integrity on this subject. Yeah, we have rank choice. So I'm not saying I got to be your first choice, and maybe you like somebody else, but I hope you consider me. That's the big thing. I can't say vote for me. I can't say please consider me. So I think I'm going to try to act with integrity. That's important to me. And I'm not here to be for the next job. I kind of believe in this whole citizen statesperson thing. I want to do this for my term, maybe a couple of terms of God willing, but not because that's who I am. It's more like I just love this town. And I want to give back for it a little bit. That's But
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know what 100%. How if someone wants to help you on your campaign, how do they reach you?
They can reach me at matt4d4.com.
Okay.
Or matt4d4@gmail. They can call me 510-228-5063. That's my cell phone. I'm happy to talk with anybody. And we're walking neighborhoods every day. We might be doing some phone banking or decide if that's too annoying to people or not. But we're doing walking neighborhoods and we're.
Hey, you've been here a while. I'm just curious. Have you found there's a lot of turnover in District 4, population-wise?
Well, I think there's some, but I think it's going across the board. From walking the neighborhoods, I would say. The majority of people still are long-termers.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say the majority. What does that mean? Even 10% change is a lot of change. So yeah.
Hey, man, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Cindy.
It was a lot of fun.
Always
Folks,
good to talk
we
with you.
did this at Perch Cafe, 440 Grand Avenue here in Adams Point. Lake Merritt is actually right over there. All right. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
You got it.